What's up, guys? We are on page 5 already. Page 5. I just started this today. It's something that, like, I made a story, like, the last 3 days, but I wanted to make this story where it has meaning, it has purpose, it has something at the end to bring God into the whole story. So, some people might be just following the story to follow the story. So when we get to the verse at the end, I'll let you know, hey, we're getting ready to start the verse. If you want to leave, I understand, leave. I hope you stay all the way to the end. So, there's Jenny now. There's Sarah. Both of them have picked on me. Both of them are bullies. Like, I don't believe in bullying, but we need to talk about it and try to figure out ways to get away from it, because if we don't, then it's just going to keep happening. So now Billy, another one of Jenny's friends, joins in on the bullying. So I put Billy, one of Jenny's friends, finds me in the hallway and beats me up. But Jenny did not tell him to, but she does not stop him either. And then this is what the chat GPT come up with from that. And then there's a verse at the end, like I said. We're going to go really into the verse on this one. That's heavy, powerful turn. It adds a whole new layer to Jenny. Not just her cruelty, but her silence when it could have made a difference. It also brings in Billy, someone who chooses violence even without being told. Let's walk through it carefully, keeping the emotions raw and real. I hate that name. I'm gonna tell it to fix the name. It's gonna be called Behind Dark Eyes. You see it in the subject. I hate the name that they give it. Because there's gonna be a lot of dark characters that maybe come out of it later. You just want it to get to your locker. It was after 6th period. The halls were half empty, quiet, except for the hum of fluorescent lights and the occasional lockers slamming shut. You round the corner and walk right into Billy. He was one of Jenny's guys, always trailing behind her like a shadow with muscle. He didn't talk much, but when he smiles, it was the kind that made you feel cold. He didn't smile today. He grabbed your shirt, shoved you hard into the locker. The metal change behind your head. Clangs behind your head, sorry. What's your deal, huh? He growls. Why are you always walking around like you matter? See, that's going to become deep, because my character doesn't do that. My character's scared of all these people. But he thinks that's what's happening. Why you always walk around like it matters? You tried to step back. He shoves you again. This time you hit the floor. You taste blood. Your lips split open. Down the hall, Jenny stood with Sarah, watching, saying nothing. Not laughing, not stepping in, just watching. Sarah leans in and whispers something to her. Jenny didn't move. Her face was blank. Her face was blank. Like none of this had anything to do with her. Billy kneels down. He thinks you're better than us. You think you're better than us, he hissed. Say something. You couldn't. He stood up, kicked your backpack across the floor, and walks away. Jenny turned and left too. So I'm in the hallway. I just got beat up. Maybe not beat up, but I definitely got bullied. And Jenny did nothing. Her darkness just stayed there in a blank, like she was blank, like no soul, nothing. She was just blank. She didn't stop Billy though. So here's a reflection. Sometimes the deepest betrayal isn't a punch, it's the silence of someone who could have stopped it. Jenny didn't throw a fist, but her silence said everything. That kind of silence screams louder than hate. And this is one of the things when it comes to bullying that a lot of people don't think about. There's always, when it happens, there's somebody. There's somebody in that group that can stop it. There's always somebody that can say, hey, leave that person alone. There's always somebody. In every bully situation, there's somebody that can say, hey, leave him alone. Or hey, stop that. Or hey, don't do that. In every situation. But we just don't. We just go on with our life and let it happen to whoever it's happening to. 99% of the time, that's what happens. There's somebody that can stop it and doesn't do anything. Jenny didn't throw a... Okay. I think I got through that part. But hear this. You survived. You didn't let them destroy the core of who you are. Pain is not the end of your story. It's just fine that it's just fire that forges something stronger. But it's not gonna. It's gonna be something that forges me to get worse, not better. Meaner, not nicer. Like, they're destroying me slowly. And once that happens, once it really gets into that, once it really gets to that fire in me, it's going to blow up. It's going to blow up big. And we're going to bring in one more character, probably in the next page, which will probably... No, there's going to be two more characters, now that I think about it. But the one character is going to take a while before we get to them. But the next character is going to come in also on the next page. And she's going to be kind of against Jenny, but kind of for Jenny. So basically like her rival. But it's going to make the story blow up, make the story feel more real to people, because there's so many people watching what's happening and nobody's doing anything. Which is exactly what happens when it comes to people being bullied. Everybody sees it, nobody does anything about it. I seen people get bullied when I was in school and I did nothing. I got bullied in school and kids did nothing. Like, I seen it. But anyways, we're going to go into the Bible verse. If you're just here for the story, that's the end of the story. Even though the Bible verse is going to go into the story, because it's a reflection of the story of something in the Bible. So it's going to go into that. But here we go. So the Bible verse for this part of the story, it's going to get even deeper, because I asked it to give me more after this. Like, I didn't think this was enough. I wanted more. So, Proverbs 6:16 through 18. There are 6 things the Lord hates. Hated eyes, a lying tongue, hands that kill the innocent. Hands that kill the innocent. And a person who stirs up conflict in a community. So, Jenny, this would be God talking about Jenny here. She stirs up stuff. She starts stuff. She makes sure everything happens. All her friends are doing all this stuff to me. And she doesn't even try to stop it at all. But the breakdown. God doesn't ignore this kind of evil. He hates it. From the arrogance of Jenny's eyes to the violence of Billy's hands, it's not forgotten, not overlooked. God sees injustice, and he stands with the innocent, even when no one else does. You're not invisible to him. Like, again, none of these characters are religious yet. Maybe we'll bring one in eventually on these characters. Yes, Danny believes in God, but he's not religious in the story. Me in real life, I'm learning and I'm getting there. But in the story, Danny's gonna turn here in a little bit. And it ain't gonna be for a good reason. It's gonna be because everybody made him do that. Everybody got him to that point where he broke. That's gonna happen. And God's gonna look at Danny the same way he looks at Jenny here when that happens. And things are just gonna escalate. And new characters, maybe not a lot of new characters, but there are going to be new characters. There are 2 more characters that are definitely going to... Ooh, maybe 3. There's going to be new characters. I keep thinking of new things to add to the story, new things to build into the story. And it's going to take longer because each page I'm making a video for each page. I could do the whole story in one day if I just went through and just did it by myself and not did videos. But I want this story to mean something to people, to learn from, to maybe help the kids that aren't being helped, but also show them God, show them who He is, show them what He is, show them that they need to follow Him, because even though they're being bullied, God might help that stop if they just believe in Him. So here we go. Let's go a little deeper into this verse. I said go more into the verse first before we go more into the story. Absolutely. Let's go deeper into Proverbs 16 or 6:16 through 18's passage. It fits this part of the story in a strong way, and there's more power in these verses than most people realize. So, there are 6 things the Lord hates. No 7 things he detests. I can't pronounce the word, but eyes, something with their eyes. So I'm guessing like blankness in their eyes or hate in their eyes. A lying tongue, hands that kill the innocent, a heart that plots evil, feet that race to do wrong, a false witness who pours out lies, a person who shows discord in a family. So breaking that down, the eyes, that's Jenny, the look she gives when she sees you like you're beneath her, arrogant, super whatever. It might seem small, but God hates pride that tries to elevate itself by stepping on others. So Jenny's evil in a way. Well, she is. We don't know why she is yet, and maybe as the story progresses, we'll figure out why Jenny turned the way Jenny did. And I didn't even think about that till I read that part there. Like, maybe we need to go somewhere, not right now, but eventually, what made Jenny Jenny? A lying tongue. The rumor they spread, the things they whisper about you behind your back, lies meant to break your spirit, not just your reputation. God doesn't overlook that. Yes, they're trying to break me. They're trying to destroy who I am. But God's still standing there with me, even though I'm gonna turn on these people, and that's coming slowly. I'm gonna break. I'm gonna break. It's gonna happen. Because I'm already foreseeing the future of the story before we get there. But things are gonna happen. Things that aren't good. But it's gonna make the story better, and the verses at the end are gonna make it even more meaning behind the story. Hands that kill the innocent. It's not just about lethal death, violence. Like Billy's fist, it means to destroy a piece of your spirit. That counts in God's eyes. You were innocent. And Billy, he chose cruelty. God sees the difference. A heart that plots evil. Sarah, whispering into Jenny's ear, please, plan meant to hurt. They don't even need a reason. Some people just want to see others suffer. But God sees the intention, not just the action. Feet that race to do wrong. Billy didn't hesitate. He wanted to hit someone, to prove something, and he did it fast. No regrets. The line is about people who rush towards sin, who chase harm like it's fun. God's not neutral about that. So yes, Billy wants to hurt people. Billy wants to do things wrong to people. Billy wants you to be scared of him. God's not happy about that. He doesn't like that. He doesn't want you to do that. A false witness who pours out lies. People like Jenny have a way of rewriting the story. If anyone asked, she'd probably say you started it, or that it wasn't a big deal. But God knows the truth and he doesn't forget. Let me read that again. But God knows the truth and he doesn't forget. A person who sows discord in a family. So I don't understand how this fits into there, but it's going to explain it here. In your case, family is school, community. Okay, that makes sense. So instead of like your family, like your mother, your father, your brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, they're using family as the people you are around during your regular day. In this case, family is school, community. And Jenny spreads division like wildfire, turning people against each other, making you an outcast. But God values unity. What she does is poison. What's it mean for you? God doesn't sit silent when people like this do damage. These verses are not warnings to you. They're validations. They say, what happens to you matters. I saw it. They won't get away with it. You are not alone. These words are God's way of saying, I stand with the hurt, not the proud. Let me say that again. I stand with the hurt, not the proud. God's not happy in this case of what Jenny's doing with her friends Sarah and Billy, and there's going to be one more person for sure, and it's coming out on the next page. But the next person has a little bit of a heart. Not at first, but she does. She's going to be part of the division between me and Jenny. But she's one of Jenny's friends at first. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to get to page 6. I might even do it tonight. I don't know yet. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Like, depends on if I feel like going to bed, because I have to take my brother to an appointment in the morning. So, yeah, I might go to bed here in a little bit. But, yeah. This is an amazing ending to this part of the story. And we're only 5 pages in. I didn't do this on the first 2 pages because I didn't think about there being a Bible verse for the story. There being things that could be pushed into the story to make the story have even more meaning. I'm glad I did think about it. But I didn't think about it until I started page 3. And I think this is going to make the story pop. It's going to make people want to hear where the story goes next because they want to see where God's going to take me with the story. Hopefully I don't screw it up. Hopefully I don't mess up something in the story. But if I do, God will probably help me get back to where it needs to be, where the story needs to come together. That's all I can do. If you guys need a prayer, put it in the comment section, and I will try not to forget to put it in my prayer at night. I'm getting better. Well, I'm not. No, I'm not going to lie. I keep forgetting to do my prayer at night, but I'm going to try to get better at it. Try to get better. I'm working on it. So if you need a prayer, let me know in the comment section. I will get better. I just got to make myself get better. Like, comment, and share, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.